the fact that their roles are going to change, I think replacement, even obsolescence, seems very, very unlikely. Robots, okay, the fourth word. In general, I like Hans's formulation that robots are basically our mind children. They're children of our mind. And that if you think about the issues that Bill has raised about how do we deal with the fact that we're going to make these kinds of systems and things that will go out of our control, that will self-replicate, and that's the danger, is that they're out of our control. And what's interesting is that how do we train children? I mean, we have children, and we train them for this inevitable letting go. In fact, if we didn't let them go, it would not only be a disappointment, but actually be kind of cruel. And so just as with our normal biological children, so with our mind children, we have to let them go because it's only by letting them go that actually they can reach their full potential and they get their fullest power. Now, there is nobody who has a teenager who's not slightly worried about this process. And therefore, actually, what I'm suggesting is that we should be worried because this is an indication of the power of this technology. And I would say that there's a power law that says that the power of a technology is proportional to its inherent out-of-controlness. And the reason why, even there's another extension of that, in fact, that unless we can worry about technology, it's not revolutionary enough. And that's why we're worried now, is because we're dealing with technologies that are very revolutionary. And so I think, the way I like to think about our technology is that we should be aiming to train it to be a good citizen. And we should expect to let it go and to deal with the fact that there are times when we can't control it. Okay, the fifth word is spiritual. What's the most spiritual event that we could imagine happening right now? I think it's contact with E.T., and I think Mr. Drake here will talk about that. It would rock every established religion. It would send theologians into the forefront, just like they did in the movie Contact. But what's interesting is we don't have to wait for SETI to discover AI or aliens, because that's what we're going to do right now with AI. That's what artificial intelligence is. It's another name for ET. The AI is a different rephrasing of ET, and we're going to have the same kind of contact with the other intelligence. And I have somewhere in my pocket here. I have a calculator, which is right now an other. This calculator right here is smarter than anybody in this room in arithmetic. Okay? Nobody's threatened by that. By the fact that this is superior to every mind here in arithmetic. Okay? And so what's happening is that it's an other, but it's so other that we're not threatened by it. And I think what we're doing is that we're making new kinds of intelligences. And the way I like to draw this is that right now we have, if you take a map of the different kinds of intelligences, somewhere up there's a lot of different mammalian intelligences. There's other animals. There's dolphins. There's whales. There's us. Maybe down below there's the guppy and the hamster. And away up there in the corner up there, that's the calculator. Okay? They're all other. They're very different. Well, what we're about to do, what we're doing right now, is we're going to populate this world and either make or find 1 million, 2 million other intelligences and minds of various sorts and various dimensions. And that,
the question is there a God somewhere a mile that way?
Yeah, I think there is. There absolutely is. And I think right now, meeting these minds is probably the most spiritual thing that we can do. So here's the last word, will. Will has happened. Okay? I think technology has its own agenda. So the question I'm asking myself these days is, what does technology want? Okay? And so if technology is a child or even a teenager, it would help to know what teenagers want. Well, we don't have a very good theory, to go to John's, about technology. We don't know what its inherent desires, its inherent urges, its inherent systematics. We don't know that. And so it's very hard to answer about whether these things will happen. But I think that there are several things that we know about technology so far. One of the things that we know about technology is it wants to get smaller. That's Moore's law. The other thing we know about technology is it wants to get faster. That's Ray's law. of accelerating speeds. Okay, and I think there's another guess is that technology wants to do whatever humans do. Maybe I call that Kelly's Law. So every single thing that we are doing, this is what technology wants to do and will aim towards doing. Not as a single species, but as a million different species, all kind of doing some of the things that we are now doing itself. So we're going to have competitors, not just one, but many. So humanity basically is going to fragment into a million different specialist technologies. So what do humans do in the end? What are we going to do? This is Hans and Ray's word. If these computers are doing all these other things, what are we going to do? A lot of people are worried about this, but I think the answer is very easy. We're going to do anything we want to do, which is a great liberation. Okay, so here's the question. Will spiritual robots replace humanity by 2100? I think I have a two-word answer. No way. Okay.